explainhelp.co.uk. Hi and welcome to another explainhelp.co.uk video. In this video we're going to look at the autopilot on the Carenado Cessna Skyhawk C172. The autopilot on the Cessna C172 is the Garmin G1000 multi-display glass cockpit panel. So what we're going to do, we're on the end of 09 at Bristol at the moment, and we're in VFR conditions. So let's get up in the air and we'll see what it's all about. P1, 3-2, rotate, off we go. We're just going to trim her out a moment. There we go, nicely trimmed, lovely job. Just leaving Bristol there. We will be back. Okay, so as I said, this is the Garmin G1000 multi-display panel down here. Just a little bit bigger than a tablet, and the idea of this panel was to replace all of the instrumentation dials in the cockpit and give the pilot a much more usable system. That's one of the reasons anyway. So down here you can still see some of the old dials here. You've got airspeed down there, horizon indicator down there, and altimeter down here. But everything now takes place on this panel in front of you. So what we're going to do, let's have a look around it. So the first thing you'll see is you've got four main components on here. On your left you've got your speed, in the middle you've got your horizon indicator, on your right you've got your altitude, and down the bottom you've got your compass. Then after that you have your speed, so your altitude bug up here, your desired altitude, your programmed heading over here, and your course over here. You have the main dials, which are your heading and your altitude, and you have your selector buttons down here. So what we're going to do, first of all we're going to have a look at changing the heading. Currently we're flying just 120 degrees, and we want to change it to a heading of 180 degrees, which is going to be due south. So in order to change the heading, what you need to do is you need to go to the heading dial up here, and you need to turn the bug to the right to increase the value, and that will give us a heading over here. Keep on going. We're going to be flying directly south. Oh, sorry about that, my apologies. Okay, taking on to the south heading. So that's the heading we want down there. The heading also will show up on here as well. So that heading there represents where we are on the bug there, and in a minute we're going to initiate that heading. So what we've done first of all is we've now selected the desired heading we want. We then need to lock that heading in on the panel up here. This panel is going to come alive in a moment with abbreviations. So we want to fly that heading down there. Click on the HDG button, the abbreviation for heading, and that now says heading, and it's also activated the flight director, which is this red, these red lines down here. But you'll notice it hasn't actually actioned what we want to do. So to do that, all you do is you just press Autopilot or AP, which is this button here, and then you go straight away. We've now actioned that autopilot with the desired heading of 180 degrees, and the aircraft is responding by flying that heading of 180 degrees. We're now in the right turn, and we are on the way, passing through 130 degrees, coming up to 140 degrees, almost there. There you go, and we're coming up to 175 degrees, and it will just finish off the alignment in just a few moments, and we are now on, it'll do it in a moment, worth the wait. Now sometimes what will happen is, if there is a bit of a wind or anything up above on the altitude you're flying at, the aircraft might take a few moments to align, but we're on a heading of 179 degrees, so we're literally, there we are, we've just changed to 180 degrees. Job done. Right, now what we're going to do, we're now going to change the altitude. So you'll notice that our altitude currently, we are on free climb rate at the moment, which means the engine's running full blast, and it's going to climb as far as its heart's content, but we don't want to do that. We're going to change our altitude. So you'll see up here in this box here with the blue text, it says 3,300 feet. We're going to change that. I want to fly at about 2,000 feet. I want to see a bit of scenery. So to change your altitude, you go down to this dial here. There's two dials, there's an outer dial and there's an inner dial. The outer dial, that increases and decreases your altitude by thousandths, and the inner dial increases and decreases your altitude by hundredths. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the outer dial to the left, and you'll see that it now says 2. We're then going to turn the inner dial to the left. Sorry, the inner dial it should be. And there we are. We've now changed the value on the autopilot altimeter to 2,000 feet. So again, on the altitude, outer dial increases your altimeter by thousandths, and your inner dial on your altimeter increases your value by hundredths. So now what we're going to do, we need to program that into the autopilot. To do that, we press the Alt button up here, the altitude button. Remember, they're all abbreviations. Altitude, and that now gives you the altitude up here. Now what we're going to do as well is we want to sorry, one thing I forgot to say is when you press the altitude button, what will actually happen is the aircraft is going to level off at the current altitude that you're at. So what we're going to do, we're just going to reset the altitude. So let's take it down to 2. First of all, we'll take that to 0 on the hundredths, and now we're going to take it down to 2,000 feet. Okay, so you'll notice that we've selected 2,000 feet on the altimeter bug, but the aircraft hasn't actually done anything yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to rectify that. We're now going to dip the nose, just very slightly. We're going to lower the nose so we can start our descend. To do your descent, what you need to do, click on vertical speed, which is this button over here, and you'll notice the vertical speed indicator comes up here. You'll see it says +0 FPM. What FPM means is feet per minute. Feet per minute. So what we're going to do, if you look down here, you'll actually see it says nose down and nose up. So with your vertical speed selected, what we're going to do is we're going to set the nose down to about 400 feet per minute. To do that, click nose down, and you want to click it 4 times until it reads -400 feet. See? Up there. Now what will happen now is you're now going to see your horizon indicator is now changed slightly. And what's happening now is that the aircraft's nose is pitched down to give us 400 feet per minute descent rate. And if you look over here, you can see our altitude is actually reducing. But another thing that's happened is because we haven't actually reduced the throttle either, so we're actually climbing in our airspeed. So if we reduce it, if we are actually descending, let's save a bit of fuel, and let's pull the old power back on the engine, and there we go. See, so now we're reducing our airspeed slightly. Got quite a way to go till we get to 2,000 feet, so let's add a bit more feet per minute to the action here. So there we are, look, there's our vertical speed is now minus 600 feet per minute, and we're now descending. And that's really speaking all the basics you need to know for the autopilot. Over here you've got your flight director, VNAV, back course, approach, nav, all those different things. So your basics are your heading dial over here, and your altimeter dial down here, and your vertical speed adjustment, which is these three buttons here. And that's pretty much the basics of the autopilot on the Cessna C172 Skyhawk. The next video that I'll be making is a video on how to use the ILS landing system. So thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. Thank you very much.